lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1862 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
Yes, people, I'm back again. And tonight we got female co-host. We got Tony, we got Mason, and we got Brad. And Grace must be at work. So good evening to you guys.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hi, John. Hi, Brad. Hi, Mason. All right, lads?
Hi, good.
Good stuff, good stuff. Before we go on, thanks for the people in the chat as well. If you like the video, like what you see, then please hit the like button. Smash the like button, I meant to say. Also, subscribe as well. Hit the subscribe button if you like the video, like what you see. If you like to do a donation for a channel's worth, just give it what it's worth for the channel. If you'd like to become a member, it's 99p. Click on the join button. And you should know this by now, people. It's as simple as that. So let's go on to some chats as well. Big up to Andrew. Yes, I'm mate. 100 mil for Grealish tells you all you need and know. And yes, he agrees with it. And big up to David. Hope you were, mate. Hope you found too. 50s Macaroons for James Maddison. Wow. Business just picked up. It has indeed. And the thing is, as right, they're going to start with. Mason's got something to say before on the chat. I mean, I might have missed your tweet.
No, John, was it what I sent you in the group chat? That was the thing.
Oh yeah, I heard that as well. Yeah, I've seen that video as well, and yeah, I totally understand. Because it's Dan Turf House. That guy is absolutely brilliant. He works so damn hard for his channel, right? And I'm not gonna call that person, but I will say, right, he's causing a lot of trouble on people's channel, on my channel, on Dan's channel, on Stephen Fleetley's channel, Kuna fan, and also had to go at Macy as well. So look, at the end of the day, right, I'm not gonna have anyone impacting people's channel, my channel, or other people's channel. Remember a month ago when people had a go saying that he needs to be blocked? That's exactly what's happened. So I'm afraid to say, I mean, he's a good lad, but listen, for me, the way he's acting a minute on people's channel is not right. So just want to let you know, do not upset people's channel, do not upset mine. So there you go. Right, so we're going to talk about English players being overpriced, and we need to ask why they're being overpriced. Are they worth the money? And also, what needs to be done about it? I'll start with you, Tony. I know you got a lot to say, but what do you think? I mean, are the English players overpriced?
Well, they always are, John. That's the problem. I mentioned this yesterday on the show yesterday afternoon with yourself and Grace. English players are always overpriced. I mean, Southampton want a ridiculous 75 million for Ward-Prowse. You look at Man City, they bought Stones for 50 million, Kyle Walker for 50 million, Raheem Sterling for 49 million. You know, and players of that quality, you could probably get abroad for half the price. And as I mentioned that yesterday, you know, continental players always come cheaper than English Premier League players. We always charge extra for English players, whether they're in the England team or not. But yeah, it's always been a running trend. I mean, Man City have spent 100 million last season on Jack Grealish. Now, if I'm honest with you, if I was given the opportunity of having a Maddison or Grealish, I would have Maddison over Grealish any day. Grealish isn't the type of player that I would want at Newcastle. I've seen some fans say, well, oh yeah, Grealish would be great at our club. I don't think he would, because he comes with that bad boy image as well. And it's all about him. And that's not the sort of character you want in the dressing room. Where Maddison, I think he's more of a winner. If I'm honest with you, he's more of a winner. And that's the mentality we want in the dressing room. People who are winners. Kieran Trippier is a winner. Botman's a winner. So, and Bruno's a winner. The list goes on. And that's what we want in the dressing room. We don't want people who want to come in and like, look at me, I'm on agree, and I'm like a model and all this. We don't need that. You don't need a fancy Dan player with that sort of personality behind them. But yeah, English players have always been overpriced. Not just this season since we've been taken over. They've been overpriced for the last 10, 15, maybe 20 years, John.
I totally agree. I'll give you an example. Say Jack Grealish signed for Juventus, right, and a couple of years ago, and he acts the way he is in front of Chiellini and Bonucci. Let me tell you something. Chiellini and Bonucci would have pinned Jack Grealish to the wall. And you know what? He will learn in 5 seconds, because they will not pull it on that in Italian football. It will not happen, because he'll be professional and he will be absolutely doing things the Italian way, and he will learn for it real quickly. And yeah, I have to agree with you, man. I mean, I know Grealish is a good player, but I wouldn't have him at Newcastle. There's no way. And he will upset the dressing room as well. I've got one from Chris Ford coming to Mason. English players are overpriced and English managers are overhyped by the media. That's my opinion. That's Chris, by the way. I have to agree with that, Chris. And part of the Maddison add-ons is that they'll get to keep Hamza Chowdhury. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. What a difference makes. Didn't pay the million last season. Now gone 50 mil. I think Leicester fans be absolutely gutted. Leicester fans, what do you think of Joe Maddison coming to Newcastle, possibly going to Newcastle? Are you happy, or would you keep him, or do you think 50 to 60 million pounds too is about right? Tight tells the Newcastle and Lumsden. Big up to Louis, by the way, one of my mods. Big up to I Like Coffee. Big up to you. Big up to Davey. And got Antoine Maddison, not a 50 mil for me. We can get Paqueta for that price, better player. Mason, what do you think of what's going on with English players? Do you think they're overpriced, or do you think it's too much hype? Or like you agree with Tony?
Both, really. Obviously, we've seen this, Jesse Lingard go to Forest, apparently for the project, but he just went there for the money. Same with Grealish and Man City. I think, to be fair, I think the English players are overhyped with regards to bigger clubs, more money from other clubs, and yeah, I think that's how it's been hyped this summer.
Yeah, I mean, now Grealish costs 100 million quid, right? Or the club's like, oh, hang on a minute, we can get 75 million for James Ward-Prowse as well. But what has he won? He's a good player, but what's he won? Has he won the Champions League? Has he won a title? 75 million quid. It's a hell of a lot of money for him, do you know what I mean? But for me personally, I would have gone to abroad and get better players than these overhyped English players as well. Do you know what I mean? You can go and get like a Dries Mertens, who's 35. He'll be available on the free. They could have got Kessie. He was on the free as well. Yeah. Lorenzo Insigne was on the free. He's gone to Toronto. Yeah. There are players out there abroad. You can get quality, right? Even Isco for Real Madrid. Yeah. He'd be on the free. And he still looked for a club as well. You can even get Duran Zapata. Okay, he didn't do much for Atlanta. You can get him for 20 million quid. Yeah. Brad, what do you think, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I agree as well. Historically, sort of the English players are always going to drive up the high price, particularly when it's Premier League club to Premier League club. There's always, there's going to be there's always going to be that case of how much can you push out of the club to try and to pay for them. But I think sometimes you get some situations where if it's the right player and you think it's the right time, then sometimes you just got to go for it and expect to pay that little bit more, but in the hope that it'll turn out well. I think in some cases, like looking at Maddison now, I think it would be a brilliant signing for us. So obviously at 50 million, possibly even more, it's a huge amount of money and a big investment for us. But I think at that price, it's probably fair enough and we would go for it. I don't think in the situation that he is, he's fairly well into his contract. I think he's got an option of another year as well. So, he's not like he's wanting away or his contract's running out. So to be that's probably about the going rate to get him to leave. To be honest.
Yeah, the thing is, right? I mean, I'll look at over, right? I'm thinking, like Ivan Toney, 40 million quid from Brentford, right? What has he won in his life? I mean, look, don't go so. I rate Ivan Toney. I think he's improved, in my opinion. Yeah, you've got players like Ward Prowse. Yes, he's quality. I get that. You got players like Mason Mount. They put it off about 80 million quid. You know what I mean? No wonder the bigger clubs, right, do not want to pay that sort of money anymore on the board, like in Spain and Italy and Germany. Yeah, they only pay the player what they're worth. Yeah, they don't want to get fleeced neither. Neither are orders. They don't want to get fleeced neither. And the thing is, right? I mean, there's all this tax coming, Newcastle tax coming into play, and it kind of winds us up. I'll just say, right, you know what? If you don't accept this offer, get away. We're not going to offer again. Real feels a good offer. Yeah. Think about it. He's got 2 years left on his contract. And if you don't do it, it's going to go for less and less and less. Simple as that. But we go through the comments anyway. Manson's not all 50 mil for me. Get Paqueta. Yeah, I read that. They got the pool, by the way. Couldn't agree more with Manson over Grealish. They got the Danielle. I hope to see on Saturday at the match. Paqueta isn't coming, in my opinion. I'll be buzzing for James. I totally agree there. Even to Sefton. Big up to Bulligan, Manchester far better than Paqueta. And big up to Spencer as well on the panel in the chat. Thank you very much indeed. Manson's proven in the Premier League and all the scores and assists and scored in the Premier League. Scored 18 goals last season. I totally agree. I don't know what's going on there. And yeah, sorry about that, people. Just having problems in the StreamYard as well. But at least me broadband is a lot better, by the way. And Paul said, be a risk on Paqueta. 50 mils, okay for Mad, but a bit expensive, but I'd take it. And also got Paul Maddison could play on the wing if needed. Yes, he can. He can dribble as well. Big up. Big up to Spenny as well. Maddison, before last season, was a picture inconsistency. Class weather would be a big risk, especially for the dollar signs. Of course, I back James if he comes, but I'm not 100% sold on this guy. Yeah, I could turn and tell what you're trying to say, but he had a lot of injuries as well. But listen, at the end of the day, he's still a quality player. He really, really is. And also, our medical staff are much, much better. We need English players for squad quarter. That's why they are premium. That is the thing. I think someone's just a bit ripped off as well. Maddison is Joe Willock Mark 2. That's an Avenger. I mean, players. Yeah, agree. Compare Grealish sales for Maddison. At 60 mil, Maddison on paper is better player than Grealish. I love Joe 7. 14 goals, 11 assists, and 40 appearances, Tony. That's a good record, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great record, that is. I mean, you're still getting people in the chat saying, oh, well, Paqueta would be better than Maddison. And look, the thing is, we looked at Paqueta last season. We couldn't get him in January, so we went for Bruno. So as far as I'm concerned, that ship sailed. But if you look at Maddison, his stats are there for everybody to see. He played 35 games in the Premier League last season. So if he's injury prone, that's only 3 games he's missed all season. Where with Paqueta, yeah, it's okay. People saying I'll get Paqueta because he's cheaper than Maddison. But how's Paqueta going to do in this league? That's the thing. You're coming from League One to the Premier League. 2 different leagues altogether. Different pace of life in the Premier League. With Maddison, yeah, you may pay that little bit extra. But not only, like Davey said, you've got your English quarter, but also you've got somebody who's Premier League proven and who knows the league. Exactly. I mean, it was all right, Bruno coming in and he hit the ground running. But not every player's going to hit the ground running. I mean, you see players come in from abroad and they struggle to adapt in the Premier League and they look out of their depth. And we've had a few of them at Newcastle ourselves. Remy Kabaya, and I can name a few, so we've had a few of them. But in my case, it's a no-brainer. And as I said yesterday, if we can get Maddison for 50 million, that's a good deal, There's talk of Dubravka's agent now shouting that if Dubravka doesn't start, he might not want to stay. Well, okay, so if they're losing Schmeichel, there might be a deal there. I don't know. But other than that, I would take Maddison over Paqueta.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough. For me, another thing I've got to say, guys, as well. Right, I had to ask the question. Right, everyone's picking up Paqueta. He's a wonderful player. He's a wonderful player. Has anyone watched League One on a weekly basis? Because I haven't. You guys haven't. Yeah, I mean, we all know Paqueta is a decent player, right? But what's his skills? How many goals has he scored for Leon? Goals, assists, and that as well. People just watch him on YouTube as well, and no one don't actually see him. It's like me, because I watch a lot of Serie A, so I qualified to see what they're like. And I've got to do European football roundup very, very soon, live. But one thing I say, people are bigging these players up, hardly see him. I'll give you an example, right? I mean, Fabio Vieira for Arsenal, right? All the Arsenal fans are gassing this guy up, right? Saying he's going to be fantastic in the business. Have they watched the Portuguese league? No, they haven't. Have our fan base watched League One? No, they haven't. Well, some have, maybe. But at the end of the day, right, you got to check him out because you got to look at his stats. You got to check out everything, his weakness and his strong points as well, Mason.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, different leagues have like different cultures. Obviously, when Bruno took a few games to come there bed in, and I think he hit his ground running Southampton, and I mean, if we do get players in the midfield like from the same country, I know what I could do the same as Bruno, but we get like players from the Premier League. They know how to bed them straight away in the league, so it'd be different, but we just have to see what happens.
Absolutely. You've got Gavin. He's got Gavin in the chat as well. We got to Gareth and Wifey. Maddison with a clear sign, just fed up with the clubs fleecing us all they can for money. That's a very good point there, mate. Maddison's got Chia left on his contract. Manson's cracker player destroys City 5-2 on his own. That's Ricky D. The Gav happens. It's talking to Gareth. Happens to all the clubs. We just didn't see it under Ashley. They got to Ryan as well. Have you ever watched Paqueta before? Just curious. There you go. I mean, he might have watched it. I mean, I watched Paqueta when he was at Milan as well. I think he's a decent player. Don't get us wrong. But at the end of the day, some of the games, it hasn't been that great. That's why Milan sold him for a reason. And Gordon's just guest early tonight, mate. So it's just guest early. So, yeah, I mean, you got to be Jan as well because he watches European football as well. They got to Paul again. No such thing as NFC tax. It always happens to clubs of money. We just didn't see it happening because he was owned by Ashley. Big up to Lee, by the way. Hope you're okay, mate. James, this is stats, by the way. 12 goals, 8 assists, 25 euros. What's happened to our fans? Our orders are bidding for an FA Cup winning player. Who knows what it takes to win things? You know what it is, right? End of the day, we should be excited after this kind of players, Brad. Do you know what I mean? Last year, we didn't even think about it. Do you know what I mean? But this year, we'd be linked to big players to come to Newcastle United, right? And the thing is, right, people are not used to it at all. It's a catch-22, this. But
no, that's it, innit? We've just completely the players that we've been looking for. This window compared to previous ones is crazy, isn't it? So I suppose we've got to understand where we're at now, and there's going to be some high-profile players we probably can do deals with, but others we can't. Certainly not for 2 or 3 years. So yeah, it's just finding our feet with things, and the club's doing exactly the same thing, isn't it? Well, we're going from being run by Mike Ashley to a professional Premier League club, so it's just getting used to all them little things, even the smaller details, just pre-season, just doing the right things, having a tour away, the right facilities, upgrading everything. We're doing all them things, and that's what you've got to do to get to the level where you attract these top players, and we'll get to that stage eventually. Obviously, there's been a few so far, like such as Trippier, who sold the project to them and they've bought into it, and it's really paid off for us. So, and we're going to be grateful for that. But to attract a lot of others, more established, particularly younger players, we're going to have to be like, they're offering European football, all this other sort of stuff, to get these 24, 25, 26-year-olds to actually join us over your teams like your Chelsea's, Tottenham's, people who are wanting to add to their teams and challenge to get to the top of the league. So, yeah, that's a situation where we're at. But we're just going to be more and more attractive as the season's going now, I think.
Yeah,
so it's exciting times for us all.
Brad, you're absolutely right. It's exciting times for Newcastle. We should get used to it, man, because at the end of the day, we never had it so good. I mean, we linked to players, sort of, they kind of get them. Cool. Do you know what I mean? But it's brilliant being linked to these. Last season, could even sign Chowdhury on loan. Anyone mourning about Maddison needs to give themselves a slap. He's a quality player. Yes, he is a quality player. Big up to Luke, by the way, 100%. Never seen Paqueta play, so I can't make a judge on him, but all the talk that he's amazing. But the thing is, right, I mean, he might look good on paper, right? For those who don't know Paqueta, haven't heard of Paqueta, right? You need to watch League on a weekly basis, yeah, and study yourself, and then give it something for a couple of months, and then make a decision then, because you can't really judge him by YouTube. I'm sure he is a good player. I would take Maddison all day long. Big up to Geordie. Big up to Rachel as well. Big up to Stu, by the way. And in the chat as well. Whoever Eddie wants in our squad, I'll be happy with that. English Premier proven, and the Newcastle tax is all at on. That's Ian and Saggy Buddy. You're John, my guy for Stu. Rachel in the chat as well. Me mod. I don't think English players are overpriced. Look at the price we got for Kieran Trippier for Atletico Madrid. However, I think majority of the time Premier League proven players are overpriced. Yeah, what do you think of that comment there, Tony?
Yeah, obviously we did get Trippier for a decent price from Atletico. It's different when you buy an English player abroad because you seem to get them cheaper than you would in the Premier League. But what you got to remember in the Premier League as well also is, likes of Leicester, now we want to buy Maddison off them. They don't want to lose him easily. And not only that, they now see us as a rival. And because we're a rival, all of a sudden, that's what pushes the price up as well. It's, it's like I say, Liverpool selling someone to Man City, or they wouldn't do that because they're selling to a rival. They'd rather sell that player abroad. But yeah, that's the thing. We're a rival now. And that was the thing with when you go back to the Burnley, like buying Chris Wood for 25 million. We only got him because we met the release clause and they had to sell him then. And that was from a rival, a relegation rival at the time. So the price for players will be high because at the end of the day, Leicester know that it's only a matter of time that we're going to start finishing above them consistently in the Premier League. So they don't want to sell to us really. And they're probably trying to put the price up, so it'll put us off and we'll think, okay, fair enough, we'll walk away and look elsewhere. But I also want to can I just set an argument, with Lucas Paqueta and James Maddison? I'll just give you some stats on Lucas Paqueta. This is from last season, okay? So last season, he played 14 times, started 11 games. He lasted 69 minutes per game. He scored 3 goals and assisted 1. Now, Maddison played 35 times, started 28 of those games. He scored 12 goals, 8 assists. So whoever's saying Lucas Paqueta is a better player than James Maddison needs to give their heads a wobble. Because looking at those stats there, I would rather pay the 50 million for Maddison than 34 million pound for somebody who's only started 11 games all season in League One. Yeah. I don't know if you agree with that, lads, but I think
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Agree with us.
He got some goals in Europe as well, didn't he? Maddison playing for Leicester, but I think it's just at this stage it's a no-brainer because don't get us wrong, we could sign Paqueta and he could be amazing, but you don't know that. That's the thing. But with Maddison, you know what to expect from him.
Exactly, man. But it just goes to show that
everything's
it goes to show that's important. But I got one for Lee. Lucas Paqueta is a fan's target, never the club's target. We wanted him, but the owners didn't. You got to believe in these owners, far away. It's as simple as that. Brilliant commentary. I don't know what I mean. Premise comment? Yes, coming on Friday. I moved on from Paqueta for a while. Where's the general information that we're after him? That's what we need to know. Yeah. Big up to Daniel. Daniel, you're definitely my G. My G. Remember that, Daniel. You're my G. Behind the owners and Eddie all day, every day. I trust them to make the right decisions. Totally agree. 100% from Rachel. Big up to Ryan. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Did anyone know who LP was prior to Bruno joining Newcastle? Because I didn't. I mean, I knew Bruno was linked to Arsenal, right? I didn't watch him play, right? Until he joined Newcastle United. I knew that about him. I couldn't judge him. And just all the ITK accounts leading the fan base doing the fake info path. If he can get Maddison, I'll be happy. Danielle, so would I. One thing I'm going to say about guys and in the chat here, I would never ever make up transfer rumors online, yeah, or live on stream, right? I would never make it up at all whatsoever. Yeah, that is not my style. Never my style. It is simple as that. Simple as that. So, guys, you got me word. Yeah, I'm not one of the ITK. I'm not interested. I just do it where I see fit. And well done to Danielle. Imagine we signed them both, Paqueta and Maddison. Win-win for everybody. Ian, I love the ambition, my guy. The difference that if I'm shopping M&S now rather than the Poundlands, I can't wait till we start shopping in Harrods. That's going to happen soon. In the year time, you never know. Only knew him as Kaká when he was at Milan, but never saw him play. I can qualify. He has some good performances. He has some poor performances. And everyone said hi to Danielle. She's very popular today. Maddison's proven Premier League player. What do we know about Paqueta? Maddison can hit the ground run. That's the difference, Rachel. You're absolutely right. He get the ground running. We don't know how Paqueta's going to find. He might be brilliant for Leon, but when it comes to the Premier League, what will happen is it's a hurly-burly of the Premier League, yeah? He may not turn corp. Simple as that. And Revenger, Newcastle have hit good on international transfers so far. Bruno amazing. Botman so far so good. Gotta trust our Ashworth decision. And I hope we sign some under 18 wonder kid from Braga, which is Bruno who's it? Roger Fernandez. Roger Fernandez. I was going to say Bruno Fernandez then.
Yeah, he plays at Man U.
Hey! We're never going to get Bruno Fernandes. There's no way. And the Brazilian kid, Angelo Gabriel, and Brothers off for wee break. Paqueta first, Maddison second. Paqueta Brazilian national regular. That shows his quality plus Bruno friendship. At the end, which comes first for technical edition of Newcastle. Jenk, have you watched the league? Have you watched the French league? Yeah? You need to watch for a good few months before you can check him out. I'll watch this guy playing for Serie A. I'll go to Steve McCalla for pins on players. He's a great guy, Steve. But Steve, if you're watching, mate, we got to get you back on during the season very soon. He's a rare breed that actually watches a lot of different football leagues. Most fans pretend to know, and that is the problem. And just get him some tweets as well. And I ignore that as well. Mentor leads 140 mil for Harrison. Hope we move on from that one. Good player, but not worth over 25 mil. That's some Foxy. We're going to talk about Jack in a bit, actually. This time last year, let's get Brad in again. This time last year, James was a fantasy player. You can only dream of having our starting 11, but now someone's saying it's not good enough. Who do they want? Lionel Messi? Yeah, Lionel Messi. Wow, our fan base, man. Maddison through the door and a striker, and I'd certainly be more than happy. Who couldn't have said a year ago we'll be signing Pepe? Pope? No, sorry, Pope. Pope, sorry, I'm sorry to say Nicola Pepe there. Pope, we linked to him, by the way. The Pope, Botman, Target, and possibly Maddison and a centre forward. We need a striker, of course we do. Ken, big up the Ken. Maddison would be the superb signing. One hell of an improvement on Willock as our attacking midfielder. I do not want to get rid of Joe Willock. Joe Willock, in my opinion, me and Grace agree he could be the face of Newcastle United, so keep him on the roster. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about, go back to Maddison a bit. We're going to talk about Jack Harrison. Another one, right? Rated at 35 million quid. According to media outlets as well, they said they offered 40 million euros, and now Leeds hiked the price up again. Do you think now we should walk away from that deal now, or Leeds just playing burgers and silly soldiers?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there was probably a deal to be done around £30 million, I would have thought, in my opinion. But getting to the point now where, for what's out there, it's just ridiculous if we're going to be talking 40 million plus for him. I mean, don't get us wrong. I do rate him. I think he's a pretty solid player and he would do all right for us. But at that price, I think it's a no-no. We probably do right to. Well, I'm very confident that we'll we'll be backing away if that's the price that's being quoted.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We go for Mason. Yeah, Jack Harrison, 40 million, at least one's 40 mil. They just put the prices up again. They just want to play silly buggers with Newcastle United. I mean, they're holding us to ransom now. I would say, you know what? I'd tell Leeds where they can. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you cannot walk away from our offer. If you want to play games with us, we just move on.
If I was Newcastle, I would just walk away simply because I think they want to go in for Maxwell Corney more from Harrison. That's just my opinion. Because they'll want to since they've rejected them a bid now, they'll want to walk away and want to focus more on trying to get Maxwell Corney at Newcastle.
Yeah, and also on the same question, see on Saturday League, by the way, do you think Eddie Howe would play Maddison in midfield on the wing?
Ooh, probably on the wing because he'll probably have Shelvey and well, if not for Forest, but either Shelvey, Joe Linton, and Willock. And if somehow Maddison signs before the deadline on Friday, I will just put him up on the wing and like when he comes on in the second half.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Just go for his comments before we go for Tony as well. Do you think Eddie Howe will play Maddison left for the wing? We'll come to that question in a bit. People aren't saying that they don't want Mad, but they preference Paqueta because he will fit in straight away alongside Bruno and he's a class player. Look at their stats together. Wayne, you've got to watch the league on, mate. You have to watch it on a regular basis. You know what I mean? I know people are saying, he's a great player, sort of thing, yeah, but not many people watch this guy league on a regular basis, yeah. You have to watch him quite a few times, yeah, and then you can make a decision on it. I know he's a great player. He's done with Brazil, he's played with Bruno, but at the end of the day, right, you got to watch the league on a regular basis. It's just my opinion, but I'll still take Maddison because he's Premier proven. The whole Premier League's proven things annoy me because Chris was proving himself in the Premier League before he's shown this. I mean, sorry, he's not that great, isn't he? If Paqueta wasn't being us, mate, you wouldn't hear any fan mention Paqueta. That's very true, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. Same on the Jack Harrison. Totally agree. Walk away from that deal because I'm not being funny. Even at 40 million, whatever they want for him, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the amount of money that you want to pay for a player who in the Premier League started 32 games and scores 8 goals and 1 assist. I wouldn't be paying that sort of money for a player who's only done 1 assist all season as a left winger. That's very poor from a left-sided player. You'd expect more than that. Whereas your Maxwell Corney, fair enough, in 21 games, 9 goals and 1 assist, you know, and you get him for half the price or more than half the price of what Jack Harrison's worth. So it's a no-brainer. Maxwell Corney all day over Jack Harrison. And Leeds can keep Harrison because I wouldn't spend 40 million on a player that's only scored 8 goals and assisted 1 goal in 32 games. That's a poor return.
Yeah, and don't forget, Maxwell Corney played in the Champions League of Lyon where they beat Man City, by the way. And Jack Harrison is never playing the Champions League, has won the trophy, and only just kept Leeds up, by the way, as well. So there you go. I just went with the case on that guy. We go back to it a bit. It's a 5-year project. We haven't reached 1 year since takeover. We've got to relax and realize this order, directors, managers, trainers, scouts, and are all probably working 24/7 to improve Newcastle in and out. That's a flipping fair comment there. They just talked to Tangi and agreed the same thing. Drew already saying Newcastle in the same package: Leicester, West Ham, Wolves, and Villa. All 5 clubs challenging to get into at least Europe Conference League. Those clubs aren't going to sell players cheap to each other. I tell you, it's a madness. It's a flipping madness. I think folks are mad who would rather have Paqueta. If also been us, mate, no wouldn't ever heard of him. Paul, I agree, and the same with Ryan as well. They also and Foxy, so Foxy said the same as well. Maddison is without a doubt a cracking player. If it happens, it happens. I would get behind him. I just didn't like the way he cheated us last season for that penalty. Look, yeah, I don't like his cheating. I don't agree with it. But at the end of the day, right, he ain't the only one that cheats, yeah? It's simple as that. We had a couple of players that cheats in the past anyway. But that's for by the by. And can't be complaining about signings. Just remember a year ago, not being in for anyone and only getting Willock. Remember, Alan, you're absolutely right, pal. You're correct. And Ryan's chatting to Foxy. And yes, good comes there. We've got to trust the process. Trust the process. And Diddy has the right attitude to take our club to the next level. Absolutely. Honestly, if I was to make an opinion that a player is better than another based off stats where 9 out of those goals is versus Brentford, us, Norwich, Saints, Watford, Burnley, I give my own head a wobble. That's very, very true, man. Very, very true. I think Osman as well before you go on to Brad's score. Heard that we linked with Dumas Zapata, Atlanta thoughts. I think he's on the other side for the project. I've been trying to build Geordie's 31-year-old. Brad, you must have watched him on Friday for Atlanta. Did he impress you on Friday night? Because I didn't think he did.
No, I didn't look too interested, did he?
Nah.
Didn't really want to work too much. So when we were thinking he could have impressed and put himself in the shop window to try and get himself a move here, and he's probably just done the opposite now. I don't think he's made himself an attractive option for us in any way, shape, or form after that performance. Like, so I don't know. I don't know if that's one we're going to pursue. Looking towards the end of this window, I don't know.
That's fair comment. I've got 63 people watching live. Thank you very much indeed. All I could say to you guys is please smash the like button. It makes the channel better and improves the channel. If you'd like to super chat, then click on the $sign. Just give what the channel's worth. And if you like what you see, then hit the like and subscribe button as well. And if you'd like to become a member, it's 99p. Just click on the join button as well, people. Thank you very much indeed. Foxy saying, if you make an opinion after watching at least 2 seasons of Maddison and 2 seasons of Paqueta, then that's fair enough. That's a fair comment. Look at it this way, lads and lasses. No more boost ball ever again, and improvement made from the Cabbage Year's teams already there for everyone to see. Stu, I agree, man. Foxy's chatting to Ryan. Big up to Ross, the Gruner fan. I hope you're okay. Ross, good luck on Friday. Missed Friday's game of work. Arrived for Saturday's games. Left tickets in Scotland box office. Printed a new ticket and had a night on the last generation. Fantastic day. Good on you, my guy. Just to link with these names, it's unbelievable. Man's 100% player. It would improve our attack and play so much. I agree. Luke Nick, I think you should go for yeah, Caroline Hudson. I tell you what, though. I want to go for what's it? Toon, the one who scored the first goal. He's tasty. Yeah. Big up to Reddy, by the way. Leicester fan. Reddy, what's your take on Maddison, mate? Would you be happy to sell Maddison to us? 50 million. We should take Fofana, Maddison, and Barnes from Leicester. So Reddy cries, yeah, that'd be amazing. Werner on loan would be fantastic because next season the project could move up a notch in terms of wages, etc., depending if we make into Europe. Tony, we talked about yesterday about Werner. Would you still take for half? You want to take him, don't you?
Yeah, I would take him if we can do a deal with Chelsea, right? So we look at it. He's on £272,000 a week. Okay, so you think straight away we ain't going to touch him. But if you say to Chelsea, we'll take him on loan with a view to a permanent move, and then say, right, okay, and Chelsea say, yeah, we agree with that. Oh, but can you pay 50% of his wages because we only want to pay 50% for the season to see where we can go with him. Now, if Chelsea do agree to say, right, okay, we'll pay 50%, so that's 136,000, then I would say, yeah, get him in. But if you've got to get him in and they don't pay his wages, then he's not going to come because there's no way the owners are going to break that wage structure to that amount. You know, so, I mean, Bruno's on, 120 grand a week. So they ain't going to break it to like 272,000 a week to pay for a player on loan. So you're going to hope for some sort of subsidization from Chelsea on the wages, but it's whether Chelsea would subsidize 50% of his wages. I don't know. But that would be a thing for obviously Dan Ashworth to talk to with Chelsea's sporting director, which is Todd Bowley, believe it or not, and see if they can come up with some sort of agreement. Because I think personally, Werner would rather stay in the Premier League. He's got unfinished business in the Premier League, and come to Newcastle could be the could be the thing that helps him out, because he's not going to be in a team full of like stars where everybody's got to play that part, where he's going to be like more of a focal part. So he's going to, and he may thrive on that. So, I would get him in on loan. There's no harm in that. If he doesn't do it over the season, he's only a loan signing. You send him back to Chelsea, and and you've only paid that little down payment and you've paid his wages. But apart from that, there's no loss really, is there? But if he comes in, does well, bangs in 10, 15 goals in that season, then you think, hang on a minute, right? Okay, we'll sign him up.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. I mean, Werner's still a decent player. He really is a cracking player, but I don't think Chelsea's using him right, if you know what I mean. And he's in that the team, he's getting frustrated, and he was playing the World Cup as well. And if he does get in the World Cup, then I think Chelsea's got a lot to answer for. Del Boy got a TV. Big up to you, Del Boy. I was on this channel last week. He was amazing. What's the crack? What's the bleeding story, Jordan? He's Arteta out all day long. Newcastle can sign all the contracts. Foxy is taking the Foxy. Big up to Alex as well. Great guy. Even to you. Hope you okay, my guy. Everything's fine. We had a good weekend. Rachel saying, everyone saying hi to Alex. And would Fort Figos do be an upgrade on Chris Wood? The less said about him, the better. Let's
got the turkey.
Exactly. You finish higher this. You finish on this. John, Newcastle. There we go, Mason.
Oh,
there you go. Wow. David, that's a tough ask. It's just getting harder and harder, that sort of thing. But we'll finish above United one day. You watch. As things stand, I hope you do finish above them. Let's be real. Zapata was fine.
I hope so.
Zapata was fine. He didn't get much service, to be fair to him. That's another problem. I agree. You can see Zapata's quality when he has the occasional touch. Yeah, he's got a good touch for a big guy. I agree with you, man. And Coffee Atlanta team as a whole didn't look fit. I thought they will get fitter. Trust us, they will get fitter. Tanji said that striker from Bilbao was good enough. Naki Williams. Bring tune to the tune. Brad.
Yeah, we could do with some. A goal scorer like that, couldn't we?
Wow, I think she's excellent, isn't she? Lovely goal, by the way. I come on the chat and pick apart all the players we linked with, but so grateful because it was a year ago. Is linked with Lemina, Horden, and Chowdhury. Rob Horden, I do not want him anywhere near my club. So Del Boy, I don't want him near my club. Ross Morgan, I don't want him near my club as well. And he's not better than Cannavaro, by the way. He's heard of that song, Tony, that Holden song?
No, I haven't, no.
It's similar to Sissoko, right? Holden, he's better than Cannavaro. I'll tell you something, he's not in the same league as Cannavaro, the same sense as Cannavaro, yeah?
Nowhere near.
Bloody hell. Some of their fan base, man. Some of them, man. 230k a week, reduce his wage and pay him a lump sum. Cool. And Maddison does not need to go because he was on a new deal contract soon, but not yet. That's already. He thinks that Maddison's going to sign a new deal. Just so Tyler Dillon from us, I think it's fair they sent us water and we only pay 25% off his contract. Yeah, he's going there, isn't he? Fans were quick to judge Zapata on one piece season where Atlanta are behind us in their preparation. I'll agree with you there. I only judge him for the 90s he played, but he just wasn't up to it, I'm afraid. But again, like Ag said, it's just the service as well, which is not good. But he's a fantastic player, by the way. I'd take you, take a hamster. Really, get lost, man. Get lost. Bernard Torn Zapata's top end pre-season game. That's a mess here. Mate, do hit the subscribe button, mate. It's your first time, I believe. And Haaland seems lost at Man City after one game. Come on, be fair to him, man. This is his first game for Man City, man. You get ya. So it has starts always the third team. Atalanta only play one proper friendly before Newcastle's game. Yeah, so I was going to say, we talked about Jack. We talked about James Maddison as well. Do you think, like I said, do you think you should drop put Dubravka in part of the deal, Tony?
What for Maddison?
Yeah. If they turn it down, so okay, cool, 50 million plus the bracket, because they just sold Castus Michael, right? Now they're going to need a goalkeeper.
Well, the thing is, we keep seeing Dubravka's agent coming out saying, "Oh well, if he doesn't start, or he's not playing, then he doesn't want to stay and he wants to move on." So we don't know if this is agent talk or is this Martin himself saying he doesn't want to stay. He's got, at the end of the day, when you've got two quality keepers, you fight for your place. Simple as. At the end of the day, that's the way you do it. It's called competition. If Martin Dubravka says, right, I don't want to stay, if he's going to be the number one, then I want to move on, then you sort of think, right, okay, Leicester's looking for a goalkeeper. They've been sort of looking at Dubravka. So do you sort of say, right, okay, we'll do a deal here. You know, you can have Dubravka, we'll take Maddison, and whatever payment they'll do between the two sides. I mean, we paid 4 million for Dubravka. I mean, there was a couple of years ago, I think there was a rumour going around Juventus wanted to give 40 million for him. I mean, Dubravka is worth a lot of money because he is a good keeper. I mean, yes, he's error prone a few times. We've seen a few errors from him, and he's had a few injuries and that. And I mean, that Euros last year against Spain, he was absolutely woeful in goal for Slovakia. But when Martin Dubravka's on form, he's one of the best keepers in the Premier League in my eyes. You know, you just got to go back that debut against Man United. Man United couldn't get nothing past him that day. He was awesome that day. And we've had a lot of them performances from him. So I'm sort of torn whether I want to lose Dubravka or not, but I don't really want to. But at the same time, he's 33 and he may think he needs to move on because there's no way Pope's coming in here to be second choice. I don't think that anyway, especially with the World Cup coming up. Pope wants to be number one for England ahead of Pickford. So, there's no way Pope was coming here to be second choice. So, I'm a bit on the fence for that one, John. I'm not sure, but maybe not, unless we can get another keeper in. Because I don't really want Darlow's backup to Nick Pope.
I totally agree, man. I mean, England's in the World Cup. Nick Pope will play there, and Slovakia not in the World Cup. So, listen, at the end of the day, right, let's be real. I mean, Nick Pope has to be our number one keeper. That's what we pay the money for. Brad, same question for you, my friend.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate, loud and clear, mate. Mr. Dubravka, would you?
Oh yeah,
change it to.
I can't. I don't really want to see him leave, to be honest. Unless a club genuinely comes in with interest, particularly in the Premier League, to say we want you to start games, and it looks like Leicester's probably the only option for him. So if Leicester do come in for him, you would think that it could tempt him to make the move. But I agree with what Tony says. The fact that Nick Pope's he's not joined us. He's certainly not joined us to be second choice keeper. Obviously, we do need a good. There's no doubt we do need a good backup keeper. And to be fair, Darlow should have probably been moved on by now. Probably still could in this window, but to have Darlow as a second choice backup keeper, historically as well, we always tend to get one of our first choice goalkeeper always tends to get injured for a certain period of the season. Just something that always seems to happen for us. So for that reason, it's important that we have a reliable backup keeper. And
100%.
I think Darlow's a solid keeper, but when he's being challenged for when he's he had a comfortable run where he sort of guaranteed games, but if he's in competition with another keeper, I don't think he doesn't tend to show his best form under them sort of circumstances. So it's a weird one, but you get the feeling that Dubravka and Pope could be something that could happen at least for a season, and then see what happens after that. But yeah, I can't imagine it being a longer term thing where one or the other is going to be happy sitting on the bench. just because the type of players that they are, and for Premier League standards, they are top keepers, and they deserve to be. They both deserve to be starting games in this league week in, week out.
Yeah, that's the thing. I love Dubravka, but he's done good stuff for us as well. Me personally, I think I would have gone for Nick Pope for me. I mean, we've got him for a reason, and let's be real, I think he's got to start. He has to start for me. I know there's going to be Dubravka fans out there, but for me, you've got to play Nick Pope. But Eddie Howe's got a difficult decision to make. That's what he gets paid for as a manager. It's a tough decision. That's what he gets paid for. It's as simple as that. There's no way in hell you're getting Maddison to Newcastle. That's ready. Very confident. Very confident. Dub's save on Saturday against Bilbao was world class. I believe he's better than Pope. Lee said Lingard's going to get booed on Saturday. Alex said Dubravka hesitate, confident against Bilbao. I was right behind the goal. Blame has to lie with him there. He struggled with the mind school as well. And Dubravka's over dramatic. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Tony, as well in the private chat. Dubravka has played himself out of the number one shirt for the preseason despite being great at the end of the season. And so Dubravka is still out of the team by Jan. He probably had to move on. Dubravka, is it? Dubravka. Oh, God. Dubravka. I got it in the end, yet. I got it in the end. Must be his brother, sort of thing. We all know Leicester are selling club now. Kim Pub brand is struggling due to impact of COVID. That's in Tangi. Dubravka, make wit in the Maddison deal. That's in JJ. Good luck to Newcastle. Thank you, Rennie. I think Paul will look at that as well, by the way. I'll probably get ripped bits on Saturday when he sees us, but he's a good guy. Mason Dubravka, would you add him on the Partners Exchange deal with Maddison?
For me, I would say yes. Just because I think by the looks of it, Schmeichel could be going to Nice, and I think they'll need a keeper because they've only got. They released that. I'm gonna have to butcher his name. Joe or what? That Swiss. I'm gonna have to say Swiss. That Swiss goalkeeper.
Yes. Jakubovic,
yeah. They released him in the summer, and the one he got Dan Ward. But the thing is, will he get promoted to number one at Leicester, or will have to go in? Will Leicester have to get some of the money like off Newcastle to get Dubravka in? And personally, I'll say yes because he won't get the game time because we've got Nick Pope, and I think Leicester could be a good opportunity to go to, and just to get some game time because you won't get any game time when Nick Pope's here, other than playing in cup competitions.
Very interesting. But anything could happen this month in the transfer window, and I think we should be doing a transfer deadline sure as well. We'll definitely be doing that as well. And I hope you guys be involved with it as well. Just calling Dubs. John, I think that's good. That'll be better. Dubs. Yay. Don't worry, it's placements Lafont. Lafont? No, it's Lafont. Font plays for Nantes. The biggest question, would Emma Dubs want to go to Leicester? Probably. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. But he'll probably go to a club where he can play first team football, by the way. And that's a good question as well. What can I say? But it's a hard one, though. I mean, I still keep as number 2. But as a number 1, I think he's definitely going to go to Nick Pope for me because he's got the World Cup come. I agree with Tony there as well. And so let's have a look at this one. So from Foxy Dubravka. Great finisher back in the day. Carlos Bacca. Has anyone heard of Carlos Bacca, by the way?
Yeah.
He's played for Milan. He's played for Villarreal. He's brilliant for AC Milan, by the way. Absolutely love that strike.
He missed the penalty against England, didn't he? Because Pickford saved it.
Exactly, yeah, he did. But don't get twisted. He was fantastic. He's got pace. He's got power. He's got both feet. He's got goals. And I thought he handled him quite well. But he's a good player, by the way. in the day. We know what it's like to be a selling club. We have 40 years of that with Ashley. The ties has turned out. Our time's coming. It's a question of when it'll happen, when we win a trophy. I could go on the table. Tony, will we get James Maddison for 50 million quid?
I believe so. I'm confident. I'm not going to say I'm 100% confident because nothing's ever 100%, but I'm going to say I'm 98.8% confident that we can get him over the line. Gone are the days of gone are the days of 14 years ago, right? The last 14 years where we just couldn't get it over the line. With these owners, we'll get them over the line. Yeah.
Absolutely. A Leicester fans join a Newcastle chat to say you're not getting Maddison. That's called shook. Wow. Wait and see. And you got Dubs. It's not when you have your mate on the back of your bike. Tell that one. Like, it's 50 mil for Mads will be a great deal. Don't see Leicester accepting bid that low, though. Well, I think 50 million is a cracking bid, by the way. And if Leicester don't accept that deal, then they're going to lose out on 50 million quid. Or they may as well keep him for the next 2 seasons and they walk on free. Simple as that. And big up to Rachel as well. Mason, do you think you're going to get Maddison over the line?
I hope so, because I actually like him. But the problem, well, it won't be a problem for us now. Is a bit to be fair, is he's diving, because he's he's been noticed for his diving recently, and I think other teams get a bit pissed off with Leicester. But if he comes to us, I think a lot of people will be pissed off with, especially him when he comes to Newcastle for his diving. That's what you need to sort it out. That's my number one priority for him, is he's diving.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm sure Eddie Howe would tell him not to do it, because Eddie Howe hates players that dives. He absolutely hates it. Despises it, by the way. He really does. They saw Kante, Drinkwater, Mahrez. They're like selling their best players. And that's a good point. Yeah, if the money is right, they sell them. You know what I mean? Kante went for 30 million quid. Went to Chelsea. Drinkwater, about the same money. Mahrez, he went for 60 million quid, yeah? And that's a good point there, Tanji, mate. I think 50 minutes of cracking, 100%. I tell you, still not that low, any. They're not going to get him. Maddison's is worth way more than 50 million quid. It seems it's not a serious offer. It would be a sideways step for him anyway. Really? Sideways step, Brad? Do you think sideways step? We're a project, by the way.
Well, it's sort of that situation where we seem to be going in opposite directions. You know, we're the ones on the up, looking positively, and Leicester look like they're in a bit of trouble, and they haven't recruited. And you know, don't get us wrong, they've got a good club there with some great players in it, but a couple of them wanting away, and there could still be some movement. Yeah, but to be fair, from Maddison's point of view, you would think that you'd be quite excited at the opportunity to join us. The way the club's going, the project, and the fans, you know, the stadium, everything around that. So it'd be a good thing for him to step up. I say, if the argument is he's worth more than 50 million, I can't see any club paying more than £50 million for him. I could not see any club paying that much money. So I think he's a brilliant player, but I think around that, but I think that price that we're offering, the improved bids reflecting that, and I think that's I don't think you can say fairer than that. And if Leicester are going to sell, then I think there's got to be some negotiations or finer details around that price that we've put in. So let's hope that there's some movement on that this week, and we'll go for it. But yeah, I think it's obviously a gamble. It's a gamble for Maddison himself to join us, but I think in the long run, the project's there, and let's be honest, we're aspiring to be where Leicester have been and go beyond that. So you've got to think that the aspirations are where we're going to go, and particularly he's a younger player, so he can be a huge part of that for the next 4 or 5 years of his career at least. So it's all them things from our side are pointing. Are attractive to a player like that, particularly at the club that he's at now. So it's let's just hope that we can get it across the line, because it'll be a real statement signing for us. I think that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with Alex 100% here. That lure, 50 mil for a player with 2 years remaining on this contract is loads of money. That is loads, man. Absolutely loads.
It's about top limit that, like, to pay.
Exactly. I think Leicester needs to be careful as well, by the way. Very careful. I don't think they want to sell him to us. I'd rather sell him someone else. But, well, I don't see them rejecting 50 mil. They need more money to make new signings, yeah? Well, you need to get rid of the players that aren't good enough. I'm sure how we'll sort out the diving issue in Maddison. Rachel's absolutely right. And Spencer's chatting to Stato. And then he'd be being chatted to Lee. And hardly a sideways move when the owners want to challenge for trophies as fast as possible. And Manson believes he can reignite his England career with the move. Totally agree there. 100%, Alex. If Harry Maguire was 80 million, I tell you what, United got fleeced. Big style for 80 million quid. We not get fleeced by anyone at all whatsoever. Yes. Harry Mack is a classic example of overpaying for players. 80 million quid. Thank you. Wow. And can't imagine any player would want to live in Leicester too long. Not a great place, honestly, with all due respect. Fair enough. Nature's agreeing with Alex, 100% as well. Maddison's way more than 50 million. Based on what, Rennie? Can you tell us why he's worth more than 50 million quid? Based on what? I'll ask you a question. Has he won the Champions League? Yeah, he might have won the FA Cup. Yeah, but at the end of the day, right, he's got to be at least playing Champions League every single season to worth the 50 million quid. And I'm afraid to say, I think that's a bold statement to say, but 50 million, that's it. If you buy Mads 50 million, Leicester could use that money and buy an upgrade, like what Burnley did with Word. They're after Accra from Lyon, by the way. He's a decent player when he's not injured all the time. Leicester still owes us money for our use of players on installments. Hopefully that could be resolved with Maddison buy. Fair enough. And got one from Ricky D. That's Foxy. Now, I don't think you need more money. Your team's getting relegated. Manson's is Geordie. Nah. There you go. I'm going to give it 5 more minutes as well before we wrap up. Leicester has some really nice parts, very rural place, villages and posh houses. I would have been to Leicester once, yeah. And I've been there since a couple of years ago, by the way, as well. Leicester won't get relegated nowhere. They have a state-of-the-art training facilities and good youth project, absolutely. No, I don't mean that thing. So, and I mean Leicester will want more than 50 mil. As a red by a top player for that money, you should it. Takes more than that. It's got contributions last season alone, just for a higher fee. The other one is, mate, so I'm not going to lie, I'll agree with Alex. 2 year left on his contract, it's plenty for 50 million. Leicester will never get relegated. So there you go. Guys, going to wrap up there, by the way, because don't overlap another show. But before I let you go, guys, Tony, tell the viewers where you can find yours.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at TonyTooney31. Give me a follow and I will follow you back.
Nice one. Brad.
Me on Twitter as well. BP _ NUFC. So yeah, any follows as always appreciate, and I'll follow you back.
Nice
Thank
one.
you very much, John.
No problem at all. From a Leicester City fan, and Ransom's worth more than 50 mil. Gee whiz. Leicester not getting relegated too far. They do well. I think they do well. Great show. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks to Rachel again. You as well. Gary's chatting to Foxy as well. I don't care. I like Rex. He's got a good sense of humor. He's a adopted Newcastle fan. He is an adopted Newcastle fan. And by John and all. And you got Mason. Where do you find you, Mason?
You can find us at Mason4 on Twitter, and I'll follow you back if you send us a request.
Big up. And you can also find us on the channel on John Sinclair TV. John Sinclair TV on Twitch, also on Facebook. And also, if you like, you can also follow us on Twitter, John_NUFC42. And also John Sinclair 50 lowercases on the Instagram as well. And if you like the video, like what you see, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, Click on the join button if you want to become a member, 99p. If you'd like to super chat, it could be on here or could provide a thanks option as well. Just give what the channel's worth. And I'll see you back tomorrow with you, John Macy Shaw. And I'm going to get Tony in as well if he's available. And we're going to talk about Premier League football as well. We're going to do the Premier League predictions, what the score is going to be as well. Talk about the latest news of the Premier League, latest transfers as well, of course. And thank you very much for joining, guys. And I'm going to play the intro. And it's a goodbye for now.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Cheers, see you later.
2 seconds.